I've created a car rig so that cars can drive with their um, wheels steering and rolling along the ground. This uses the PhysX engine. You can attach the cars that drive with the Gizmo and the Bullet engine to this rig to have them follow a path in your regular PhysX engine. Um, so obviously you're going to need an infinite plane because you're driving along the ground and it's physics. So make sure you add one of those from your create menu. I already have one in my scene. That's what the purple square here is. And then I've got my car rig, and let me show you how it works. If you click on the white box, it selects the whole thing. Actually, you can click anywhere on it. It will just select the whole thing. You can double click to select a part of it if you need to, but you shouldn't ever need to. Um, so just select the car follow path, and we're going to quickly show how it will drive along a path. So in the path section of my modify panel, I'm going to use eyedropper to pick a path point, and I want it to follow the path, and it needs to be on the negative y axis. Okay, so now I'm going to pick a point much further down in my timeline, and I'm going to find the end of my path. And I'm going to pick a point again. Okay, so now we have a path set up for the car to follow along. And let's go ahead and play our animation. And you can see the 4-bar linkage allows the tires to steer and, stay across from each other rather than turning like a wagon. And of course the wheels are turning too. Okay, so now that we have all that, let's undo all this and see how we will attach a car to it. So I will undo my path connection back to where I was. And let me just zoom in on my car here. And I have an SUV in my scene. Let me show that. So this car, we obviously want the wheels to steer and whatnot. So first thing I'm going to do is align my car rig with it. And I need to align the front wheels. That's the most important thing. You see, somehow I multi-selected there. Let me select my car rig. Move this over here. And it's the front wheels that you want to get exactly aligned. So I'm going to zoom in close and do that. If you put your car so it's on grid lines, it makes it a lot easier. So I just basically need to align up to the same grid line. And I'm going to go with that. That looks pretty good to me. And then what I want to do is scale a little bit because the width is the next thing you need to get just right, and that you will need to scale to the width of your front wheels. And so this is a little bit wide. So what I'm going to do is scale it down just a little bit. And basically you don't really want it narrower, but you don't want it wider either. So kind of get it kind of right in the middle of those wheels. This is pretty good. I can still see this here, which is going to be handy. Of course, the wheel's kind of hollow, so it's no surprise there. So now what I need to do is get the wheel bigger, so it needs to match the size of this. So you can just double click to select each one of these and scale each one separately, or you can just select all of them. And if you go to the scale in the modify panel now, and if you type in a number, it will scale them all in place, which is what you want. You don't want to just use the gizmo now, will make a set of smaller wheels, and that's not what you want. So I'm going to lock my XYZ, and then I'm going to put in, say, maybe 150%. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. I think I'll go with that. And so now I need the rear wheels to be lined up with the rears. So I will just select the two rear wheels together and move them back to where the back wheels are. And try and get them as aligned as carefully as possible. You can use the align tool if you want. But I'm just going to eyeball it for now. I think it'll be good enough. Okay, so now we're ready to start attaching. So what I'll do is I'm first going to go ahead and attach the SUV itself to the attached chassis. So select your SUV, right click, select attach, and then click on the attached chassis in the scene manager. Okay, now that's attached, and now we need to do all of our wheels. The wheels are currently attached to the SUV, and we want them attached to these different wheel markers. So I have a bit of wheel poking out here. I can select it, or you can select it in the scene manager, but that's selected pretty well. And then I'm going to pick attach and just click on my green wheel. Now that's attached. Let me go do the back wheel. Make sure that it's the right one. I've got it attached. And I'm going to attach it to my green wheel. Okay, there we go. And do this one. And attach to my green wheel. And one more. Okay, so now everything is moved around and in a different place. And before I hide all of my various pieces, what I will do is attach my car to my path and test it. So make sure that you select the car follow path, and then you can either use the path section or the right click menu. I'm going to use the path section because I need to be able to set the orientation and everything anyway. So come down to my path section. I'm going to click on the eyedropper for the pick path and click that first path point. It will move the car to that point. And now I want to select follow path and negative y-axis, and then I need to pick my endpoint, and I want to be further down on the timeline, and then I will say pick path and click on the endpoint, and it will create the path. So now I can rewind, and let's see how it goes. And there we have a steering car. Okay, so that looks to be working fine. So the final step is to basically you want to hide the car follow path, and that's going to hide everything. So now you can go into each of these and just show the parts of the vehicle. So there's my four wheels, and then I'll come down here and I have the body itself. So there I have all the parts. And then if I drive, voila. Okay, I hope that helps everybody for getting driving cars in their iClone scenes and that are somewhat realistic. Good luck.